Got it.
And I was just stood there, normal, and I had it in my hand and I said, excuse me.
What have I got to sign?
None of them were having it. They were just, some of them were even like...
Got it.
Welcome to the NZ Ahead podcast. Everything you need to know about moving to and living in New Zealand.
There's a whole world here.
So nice to be with you again.
We call it Aotearoa around here, bro.
You'll be right.
We are your hosts, Liz and Brian.
Amazing New Zealand in the southern seas.
See, that's where I belong. That's home.
Hello, kia ora and welcome. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we bring you this podcast from the back garden of our house. We want to share what's been happening here at home in New Zealand. And we have decided to combine this episode across all three of our channels. So in case you don't know, we have actually got three content places where we release content. I don't know what the name for it is, channels or places.
It's your channel. Yeah.
We have got the It's a Drama podcast, which talks about mine and Brian's life as travellers, as entrepreneurs, as a couple, married couple who work together, live in New Zealand, live with our family, all that sort of stuff. Then we've got the NZ Ahead podcast that talks predominantly about moving to New Zealand and living in New Zealand. That's very New Zealand focused. And then we've got our YouTube channel that is kind of a mixture of all of those things.
Everything gets dumped on the YouTube channel.
We sort of like just chuck it all on YouTube and hope that it'll find someone that likes it. So
apologies to the people that tune into It's a Drama and then get NZ Ahead coming to you from Taranaki, New Zealand. Anyway, but it all originated from the It's a Drama podcast, really.
And the reason we wanted to share that with you is because this episode that we're going to share today is a glimpse of a day in the life in New Zealand. We go shopping, we go to Pac'n'Save. We're going to tell you all about that. This isn't a video, by the way. If you're listening to this, don't worry, you're not missing anything. We don't take you to Pac'n'Save.
No.
It's all done through story. And just a couple of things that have happened in New Zealand yesterday that we wanted to share. And we thought, do you know what? That'll be suitable for right across the board.
Yeah.
So, just sit back and enjoy this episode about a day in the life in New Zealand.
And just in case you're not from New Zealand, Pac'n'Save's a supermarket.
Yeah, right? It's the cheapest
you
as
don't
well.
pack. They don't even pack anything, do they? They just throw it in the basket, in the trolley. Yeah.
It's funny because, before we move on, it's a good point that, because Pac'n'Save used to be a bit, when we first moved to New Zealand 15 years ago, it used to be a bit like, not scummy, but it was just like the cheap of the cheap and, just... I don't know, like...
It's not so much, not scummy is the wrong, not really the right word, I suppose, but it's not refined, okay? You'll find us in the scummy seats on the aeroplane and the scummy supermarkets as well.
What I'm saying is it hasn't got the finesse, let's say, of New World. And I don't mean like, the people who shop there are scummy. I just mean like the floors are all a bit, there's birds flying around in the ceiling and...
Yeah, there's rain coming through the roof.
No, but I tell you what, it's the flipping cheapest.
It is.
Like you pointed out yesterday, Bri, we always meet the best people in Pac'n'Save.
Yeah, we do.
Don't we?
Yeah.
We meet all our friends in there.
I know.
So they're all scummy.
I know.
We meet all our subscribers, so they're all scummy.
I've got a friend, Johnny. He owns half a New Plymouth with all his things that he's got in there, like commercial properties and things. And there he is pushing his trolley around.
I know. Well, this is the thing, isn't it?
There you go. You see, not scum.
Yeah, this is... No, when I say scummy, let's just be clear. Scummy doesn't mean scum. It just means scummy, doesn't it?
It's the same thing, but it's like, we use that. It's a slang word, isn't it? In it's like that the brilliant podcast Scummy Mummies, but
yes,
they're two lovely comedians, but they call themselves Scummy Mummies because they swear a bit,
Yeah.
That's all it means.
Oh, anyway, how have you been? It's a beautiful day here in New Zealand today. I hope you can hear the birds singing. If you're watching on video, you might see the blue sky and just all the green behind us. The lavender is just in full bloom at the moment. It's absolutely stunning.
It is. It's gorgeous. It's great time of year. It really is.
Yeah. So yesterday we went off to Scumsville. I've got to
Scum and Save.
Oh no, hang on. Before we start, I have to give a big shout out to Black Sands Pizza.
Yes, we do. Yes, yeah, because they helped us out last night, didn't they?
They did.
They really did. We didn't see the blackboards that said we're not open to the scums tonight.
So Black Sands Pizzeria, so Owakura, Taranaki, just outside New Plymouth. Black Sands Pizzeria helped us out massively yesterday, and we said, you know what, guys, we'd love to give you a shout out on the channel. Their restaurant overlooks the beach. It's fabulous, brilliant pizzas. Just go down there and get it.
Yep.
So before we'd had the pizzas, like rewind now to the beginning of the day, we go over to Pac'n'Save, and I don't know, we're just tired yesterday, weren't we? We were a little bit irritable,
yeah,
I found.
Yeah, we were.
Do you think?
Yeah.
We were. I don't know why.
Just a lot of travel in the last few weeks.
Yeah,
I suppose. That's why, you know.
And we hadn't had a good night's sleep that night before. Anyway, so we're in Pac'n'Save, and we get over and we decide, we had our shopping list, and we couldn't decide. We went and looked at the price of chicken, because my daughter Tessa's coming home. So now we've got a full house. We've got both kids living at home again. And when you're feeding a family of 4 and you're having chicken,
yeah,
and it's nice to have organic chicken and free range and stuff like that, but it all adds up,
it's
doesn't
just
it,
getting
Bri?
a bit pricey. Well, those free range, they're not free. They're free range organic.
Free range.
Free range. I like a free range. Free range organic chicken, Twicken. I have a great friend in Rome, you know. And it came out, they were $19, and now they're $28. It's like,
I know.
you're only talking 2 years max.
I reckon
What's
the
going
chickens
on?
are on the farm, aren't they? Just going,
Yeah.
look, put your prices up, mate. I'm worth more than this.
Yeah, look at me.
I've got some self-respect.
I'm a size 16, I'll have you know.
So yeah, we went to the supermarket, got blown over by the price of the organic chicken, and thought there's no way we're doing that. So Brian said, why don't we just get frozen chicken, because we're going to freeze it anyway, because that's what we tend to do. We buy like 10 days worth of shopping and then just chuck it all in the freezer and take it out as we need it.
Yeah.
So we thought, that's a good point, didn't we?
That's it. Sometimes I think it's a bit of a con, the old free range, because what is free range? They've got a little bit more space, haven't they?
Oh, don't say
You
that.
know?
That'll just kick off a
I
load of stuff.
but it's just like, you know. So, but you can get a Teagle chicken. It says no added hormones and all that sort of stuff, and it's $12.
And why is it though? And this is but this is a thing, isn't it, Bri? When you see organic, $28, and then you go to the frozen section and see $12, your mind immediately goes, well, that must be rubbish.
Yeah.
That must be.
Look at the size of the thighs on that.
Yeah, but it does
They're
though, doesn't
pumped
it,
up.
Bri? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what you do think, and you just think, what is the difference?
Yeah.
I know organic food, yes, you know, no chemicals or pesticides being used in what they feed them. So it's a hard one, isn't it?
It is a hard one, Bri. There's nothing worse
Give the kids the crap, and we'll eat the
that's what I
organic.
thought.
You know,
I thought that.
Put that side of the plate, or the tray when you're baking it.
That's right.
That's it.
And that's
They'll
what we're
never
going to
know,
do.
will they?
No, they're never going to know that.
Suddenly
So
it'll be
that is
another
what-
2 foot taller in a few weeks.
So that's what we've decided to do, actually. That was the outcome.
Yeah.
We just said, oh, no, we'll buy us the nice stuff and give them that.
Yeah.
Because it's true, isn't it? You go to a restaurant and you don't say, excuse me, is this chicken organic?
No.
Or is this chicken from the
No,
frozen
you just eat
section
it,
in
don't you?
Pac'n'Save?
You don't go to KFC and say, what's in that?
Well, KFC, you're probably not going to get organic
You
free
don't know, do you?
range. Pardon?
No, you never know.
What do you mean?
Well, you wouldn't know, would you? That's what I'm saying. You don't know
No.
what you're getting. But
So it's all
everyone
very
queues
well.
up and eats it.
I know, exactly. So, and any restaurant you go to, unless you go to a really high class restaurant and they state our chicken is free range and all that. But anyway, so we're in the frozen chicken aisle now in Pac'n'Save. That if you haven't been to Pac'n'Save supermarket, it's huge.
Like a big warehouse.
It is like a big warehouse.
Yeah.
And the way they keep their prices down is because they haven't got anything fancy in there. You know, it's not like, you know, like end stalls with all decorations on and just nicely decorated. It's just very basic.
Yeah.
And it feels...
It's like cages for the, you know, with all the racks and things,
I
isn't
thought you
it?
were going to say cages for the staff.
Yeah. The chickens are still alive.
The staff are just like that, just looking out the cages. But yeah, so here we are in Pac'n'Save, me and Brian just arms folded, staring for some reason, just staring at the frozen chicken, going, what do you think? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's really mean? Well, they're never going to know, are they? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it's $28. So yeah, let's just do it. And anyway, this guy comes up to us while we're just staring at the frozen chicken. And he says, Liz, Brian, excuse me. And we looked around and there's just this guy stood there. He must have just thought, oh my God, you're not like
There
you
they
are
are,
on YouTube.
doing a podcast by the freezer.
And he introduced himself. He was so lovely. He introduced himself and he said, oh, you know, I watch your show. You're doing a great job for Taranaki. And I just felt completely taken back because I suppose I wasn't expecting to see, you know, a watcher or a listener in Pac'n'Save. You're just not, are you?
No, Kelvin was his name. Just
Kelvin.
a lovely guy, and just, you know, shook his hand and said, "Oh, thanks so much." And he just said, "You know, thanks so much for what you do."
Yeah.
And you know, and it's lovely when people do that
We
because
love
it just gives you inspiration to, you know, even then do another show or another podcast.
Yeah.
And you know, like you say, buy local and all that sort of stuff. And you know,
Are we buying local, Brian?
Well, we do. We buy local, as in we sell what we sell locally, don't we?
What do we sell?
Taranaki in New Zealand. That's what we try and do.
Do you mean like promote it?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant you were selling
it's
stuff.
Like, you know, as
at the
well,
back
you
of your
are,
car.
aren't you, to a degree, yeah. Dodgy stuff.
A few
as well.
frozen chickens.
Yeah. Frozen chicken, $18. Yeah, previously frozen.
So yeah, he comes up and he says hello. Big shout out to you, Kelvin. Thank you. Because do you know what? Afterwards we said, it takes a lot It takes a lot to come up to a couple, especially a couple who are frowning
Talking
over
about
the
chickens.
frozen chicken and say hello and thank you for everything you do. So a big shout out. But what he did say to me and to Brian, and this sort of like, it hurt a little bit actually. He said, can you let Brian talk more on your podcast?
So anyway, what I'm going to do is introduce all the rest of the stuff. And see, I'll start thinking, Liz is the lead. You've got to have a lead, haven't you? And I'm just not. See, she's gone quiet now. So I'm now starting to stumble and think, what am I going to talk about next? I can't read Liz's writing because she just writes scribble. But it's price of skate wings. See that? The energy's not here. I need to be fed stuff.
Carry on.
Okay.
You did really well, actually.
That's just
you
the
did really
start
well.
of it.
Hang on. I have written this down for people who are watching on the video.
Yeah. That's the other way around, Liz.
Oh, is
That's
it?
a blank piece of paper you're handing on.
No, it isn't.
Oh, no, it is.
Let
Yeah, I see.
Brian talk. So, and he kind of was joking, and he said, "Yeah." And Brian said, "I've got a knife in my bag." So anyway, that happened.
Can relax now.
And relax it going on to this skate wing. So yeah, I am going to try harder to just, you know, let Brian talk a little bit more.
Yeah, because if you have two leads on the show and two people, then they fight to who wants to talk next. Like, you know, it's like
there's no competition with me and you. It's always me.
It's always you. And even like, you know, I'm just trying to say something. Liz is butting in all the time, which is great because.
Do you think I do that?
No.
Tell the truth.
No, because it's like I say, you're the one who it's not it's not creative. We're both creatives, but you're more of the person that will think up the stuff to put onto the piece of paper. That are just a basic guideline. We're never scripted on this show.
No, we're not.
We've never been scripted. You know, even when we do adverts, we don't have a script. We just like talk about it.
We just make it up as we go along.
As you go along.
Yeah. And I think you like that. What about you? I mean, if you're married watching this, listening to this, what about you? Is there a lead? If you were to do a podcast together, who would be the lead in your relationship? Because we all like to think, it would be equal. But it never really is it,
No,
Brian?
I think if we were at
There's always a natterer and an interrupter.
I think if we were on stage, I would be the one who would have to say hello because you'd probably be too nervous. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that would break the ice, and Liz would then start to talk, you know?
It's a funny thing because we're talking about Tess, and Tessa wants to do a YouTube channel because she wants to move to Paris next year. She wants to go travel into Europe and she wants to document it on YouTube. And it's actually making me really, really nervous about her doing that as a protectiveness as a mum. And I was saying to Bri this morning, I just said, there's no way on earth I would do this without Brian. I just would never, ever do. I might do a audio podcast.
Yeah, an audio podcast on your own because you're in the dark as such, aren't you? And it's like, I'm like, you do it in the dark, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, and as long as I could interview people, I could do an audio one on my own, but I know you should never say never, but I really don't think it is possible that I would be brave enough or even want to do this without you. it just wouldn't be the same.
In front of a camera, for some unknown reason, it's harder. And that's why we loved the audio podcast. But it's everything, even Spotify, they want you to put a video up, and they'll push you a little bit more if you put videos up. So it's kind of hard, isn't it? Because,
it is.
we used to do the behind the scenes stuff. And even, especially if it's something that touches your heart and, makes you emotional, and you want to have a cry, you're always conscious that the camera's looking at you.
I know.
Not that I really give a rat's ass, as they call it, what my hair looks like, or this, that, and the other. It's just like, I don't really care. But it's harder with a camera.
It is
100%.
Yeah.
YouTube is a much harder platform than just a podcast platform.
Yeah, it is.
But you've got to have
really
good content to keep people engaged, haven't you?
Yeah. So anyway, that's that story about Tessa. I'm not going to say to her, oh, don't do it, because I would never say that to my kids when they want to do something. You've got to do it. And also I've got to overcome my fear of her doing it and feeling that protective. So we might invite her on the podcast. We might just give her, because she's never done it before. So
she's never done a video podcast before, has she?
Hasn't.
It's always been audio, hasn't it?
Our son is very, very video orientated.
You can check Sonny out on TikTok. I don't know what he's called these days.
It's Sonny.
Just Sonny Deacle, is it? Yeah, on TikTok. He's got 750,000 followers. It was mainly a gaming channel, wasn't it, that he was doing? But he was doing lots of challenges, and he did his Twitch streams and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
But he's very confident in front of a camera. But anyway, so going back to that, we try and do our best, and I try and think, just don't keep interrupting, but it's just a natural thing when you're talking to your husband.
That's what women do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a natural thing, isn't it? You just, you just have that banter, like that conversational banter that maybe it does come over as interrupting. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, I won't be letting you talk, Bryce, so don't bother trying.
All right.
Sorry, Kelvin. So going back to Pac'n'Save. So we get all our shopping. I tell you what, though, Bri.
What?
I tell you what. Skate wings.
Skate wings.
Skate wings.
Skate wings. You know what a skate is? It's a fish, not a skateboard.
It's a fish. And it's not Jamie Oliver. Who's the one that keeps shouting in the kitchen? What's his name?
Gordon.
Oh, yeah, Gordon Ramsay. He does this fantastic recipe with skate wings. So you fry them in butter. Like a skate wing is literally the shape of how would you describe a shape of skate wing? It's like a big, massive...
Like an aerofoil.
No, it's like a big, massive... I want to say a shell, like a shell that you'd put on your bra, that sort of shape, like a bra cup. It's like that sort of shape, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm doing this with my hands to try and describe it.
It's about yay thick, isn't it, the skate wing, and then it'll go a bit thinner on one end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, New Zealand had them yesterday, and there's this lovely recipe by Gordon.
Pac'n'Save had them yesterday.
Well, Pac'n'Save.
The whole of New Zealand had them yesterday.
Oh, is that what I said? Yeah. Probably getting a bit nervous because I've been talking about not interrupting. But yeah, so there's this brilliant recipe that Gordon Ramsay does. You fry them in a little bit of butter, and then you add lots of lemon juice and capers and chopped parsley, and just serve them in. Oh, my mouth's watering.
Oh, we've got some fresh parsley around the corner, haven't we? Put it in last year, it didn't grow, but it's grown already, isn't it, this year?
And you serve them with this this lemony parsley butter and capers, which is lovely and vinegary. Anyway, I haven't seen them in New Zealand for years.
Yeah.
And maybe I just haven't been looking, but Pac'n'Save, I've got to give a big shout out to Pac'n'Save in New Plymouth. Your fish counter is something to be...
It's stepped up a bit, hasn't it?
It really has.
It has actually stepped up, yeah.
It's just very, very impressive. And... yeah, it wasn't until my sister, she came over, they live in Gizzy, and her now husband, I asked him where he gets his fish from. They're big into fishing in Gizzy, and they're always coming in on the fishing boats. And he came over here and he wanted to cook fish for us. And I said, I can tell you where the fish shop is if you want.
Yeah.
Are you going to say something?
No, I wasn't.
Go on, say it.
No, I'm just saying.
I can feel the energy coming from you.
I wasn't going to say a thing. No, but... He's quite a daunting person when he comes into a shop because he's so tall.
Yeah, he is. He's 7'10".
Yeah.
He isn't really about 6'5", but yeah, he is a big guy. And I said, I'll take you to the fish shop. He said, no, I get all my fish from Pac'n'Save. And off he went, and he came back and he had this fish, and I said, I normally just get my fish from the fish shop. He said, no, Pac'n'Save every time for me for fish. So that made me want to think.
Oh, right, I'll give it a go. We always get our greenlit mussels from Pac'n'Save, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we were in Pac'n'Save, and I remembered this that Daryl had told me, and I thought, I'll go and have a look. And there they were, these skate wings. Now, going back to what we were talking about before, about everyone's feeling the pinch, aren't they? And you're looking for cheap meals to have. 4 massive skate wings, fresh as, absolutely fresh. They were spanking fresh.
They were really fresh, all packed in ice, weren't they? Lovely. Yeah.
$14 for 4.
A kilo of it.
Yeah.
A kilo of fish for $14.
How amazing is that?
If you're in the UK, £7. In the US, probably about $10. Eh?
Yeah. So we're having it tonight, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous because, like I say, buttery, lemony. New Zealand lemons are in season at the moment. They're all outside the charity shops.
Yeah, you go to a charity shop, you buy a few things from the Chazza, and they give you a handful of free lemons.
Yeah.
How
just
good is that?
Flipping lovely,
They're
really
about
lovely.
$5 a kilo at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's worth it.
So yeah, and that fresh chopped fresh parsley, like we say, we got that in the garden. So that's just going to be divine. So I didn't mind that Kelvin had told me that I didn't let Brian talk because I was cheered up no end by the fact that Pac'n'Save were going to be feeding my family of 4 for $14.
Yeah.
So absolutely brilliant.
It was. It's great.
Right, before I go on and tell you something about Pac'n'Save, and I think the Kiwis in general, I don't know if this is a Kiwi thing, but anyway, you can decide. Tell me in the comments or tell us in the comments. But before we go on, do not forget that we have got an absolutely brilliant free 5-day video guide all about life in New Zealand. So if you're watching this or listening to this, you obviously are interested or love New Zealand.
Yeah.
So we put this video together, this 5 days of videos. It covers 5 aspects of life in New Zealand. It's really brilliant. It's really unique and very, very
simple.
personal and simple. Yeah. And it just shows you what life in New Zealand is like. At the end of those free videos, you are given, the chance to join our private paid for, make sure that I say that is a paid for community that we have over there on Slack, and all the people over are on there. But like I say, you can find more information about that. You can just take the free 5-day video guides and stay on the list. And yeah, you'll love it if you love New Zealand.
And that community supports people like we did 15 years ago, moving to New Zealand. They've got people already on the ground here that have already moved in the community, and you go out for coffees with them and all, make friends, and just makes that a bit easier. You've got questions to ask, you can do that. We've got immigration advisors, we've got financial advisors, we've got foreign exchange people in there. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
And more importantly, we've got new Kiwis who have moved to New Zealand that are willing to pay it back. And it's just, that's the beauty of it. It's just having that community of people around you. Yeah. So if you want to get those free 5-day videos and just have a look at what me and Brian have been up to making these videos about life in New Zealand, you can go to
nzahead.com/free.
Okay. And you can go to
www.itsadrama.com/I love NZ.
I love NZ. Yeah, that's the one. So, yes, right. So we get all our shopping, bearing in mind now the kids are home and it's just costing us $1 million. But it's not going to be too bad because we're making them eat shitty chicken and we're going to eat the good stuff.
Any of their partners, if they've got partners, they get the shit stuff as well.
And we get to pay at the end. And when you spend over $200 in Pac'n'Save, this is another great thing about Pac'n'Save.
No, it's true. It is, yeah.
Why did I call them scummy at the beginning?
See, there you go.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they've got car parks and everything.
They're the best.
Yeah.
They really are the best. It's the only place we shop.
Yeah. And you obviously you get your when you get your receipt, you get a 6 cents a litre off your fuel.
Yeah, you do.
If you want to, and you can buy it in the Pac'n'Save, or they're actually valid in most of the petrol stations.
I was only joking about the scummy thing. If you're watching this and you work for Pac'n'Save, I'm only joking, just a little joke. But yeah, so when you spend over that $200, you get this free coffee. Yeah. Anyway, we'd already been out for coffee that morning. We were all coffeeed out, weren't we, Brian?
We'd had 2 big coffees, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I'm just going to go and find someone who looks like they could do with a coffee, and I'm just going to give it to them. Well, I'll tell you what.
How odd is that?
I must have waited for 10 people to pass me, and each of those people looked like they could really, really do with a nice caffeine break. And I was just stood there, normal, and I had it in my hand, and I said, "Excuse me, would you like a free coffee? I've got a free coffee voucher. Would you like a free coffee?"
What have we got to sign?
None of them were having it. They were just, some of them were even like, like, what are you doing? Like, like I'm trying to sell them something. Yeah. And not one of those people took the coffee voucher. And I was just like, if someone said to me in a supermarket...
And it's good coffee from Pac'n'Save. It's a proper, barista and things like that.
Yeah, and if someone said to me, Brian, what would you do? If someone said to you, do you want a free coffee, what would you do?
Again, you'd think, everybody thinks, it's going to be a scam. But, you want a free coffee? Well, what have I got to do to get that free coffee? Why are you giving me a free coffee?
Oh, it's a shame
because
isn't it?
That's the only thing is like a lot of people, are always asking you to sign up for stuff and outside the supermarkets. It's mainly for charities, which is not a bad thing, but
I should have done that. I should have gone, would you like a free coffee? And then if someone had said yes, I should have gone, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Pac'n'Save New Plymouth?
What do you think of the frozen chickens?
Do you eat frozen chicken? Yeah, exactly.
Well, vegan.
So I could not give this voucher away. It's worth $4.50 and not one person. I tried kids. I tried old people.
Yeah.
I tried.
Hello, little kid. You look like you could need a coffee.
No, but I don't mean kids. I mean, I saw those two teenagers.
Teenagers, yeah.
And I thought, they'd like it. I tried, a mum. She looked like she was a bit frazzled, and I just thought, I know how that feels. Do you want a coffee? No, thank you. And in the end, I just went to the coffee place, the coffee shop, and I just gave it to the counter staff, and I just said, the next person who comes, will you just give them this free coffee? And they're like, oh yeah. And to be honest, they weren't taken back. So I reckon that's what people do.
Yeah. That way you're paying back then, aren't you? Like, at least someone's going to get something out of it,
I know.
aren't they?
And how bliss would it be if you went up to pay for your coffee and you didn't have much money and you were thinking, oh, sorry, I'm just going to have a coffee, and then it's free. So that made me feel happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that I couldn't give my voucher away. They probably thought, Brian, oh God, there's that nutter. There's that nutter who doesn't let her husband talk from YouTube.
There you go.
She's going to give me a hug. She likes hugging. She's told people about that.
She's got a phone outlet. Yeah. She's filming you.
So yeah, that was that about just giving the coffee away.
Yeah, but that's New Zealand all over, isn't it? It's just like, no, I'm all right, mate.
I don't know. It made me just feel a little bit sad because I thought, I don't know. Is it because, the whole scammy thing is you just think someone's going to... And I hope they didn't think that.
No, they wouldn't have thought that.
Either that or they would,
You just
anyway,
don't know,
we got rid of it.
Too busy.
Yes. Right, before we close down, I just wanted to tell you, I couldn't decide whether or not to tell you this story or not because I didn't want to cry while I was telling you it. And I was quite emotional about it yesterday, but I'm actually feeling quite strong today. Okay. So I am going to tell the story. Okay. We came home from Pac'n'Save and one of the cats had killed one of those, those beautiful, well, you won't know this if you don't live in New Zealand, but all the Kiwis listening to this will know what I mean. They've got these beautiful green moths in New Zealand. And I don't know if they only come out at a certain time of year or...
I think they do. It's because sometimes, I know once when we were in Rotorua, we were at a batch, weren't we? And there was millions of them, wasn't there?
It wasn't millions.
Well, there was flipping hundreds of them.
God, that put you off going to Rotorua,
No, but there was just like that one night. And I just remember the moorporks were out and there was a spotlight and it was just kept catching these moths and everything. But... yeah.
They are beautiful and they look like giant fairies. They're just really, when the kids used to see them.
Like a lime green, aren't they?
Yeah, they're bright lime green and they're just gorgeous. Anyway, we came back from the supermarket and I opened the garage door and there, lying on the floor, ripped apart with its wings off and all the rest of it, was one of these moths. And I leaned down to pick it up and I just started crying because it was still alive, like the body, it was still like half alive. Yeah. I hate cats when they do stuff like that.
I know.
They're so annoying. You know, it's just, But anyway.
Eat it, it's all right, but just to leave it. Like
I know, and they do it because they want to bring a gift and all that, and I know that. But anyway, but I picked it up. I went down to pick it up and it started moving and it hit me hard and I just started crying. So I just thought, okay, I got the moth and I just put it outside and I, said a little goodbye to it and everything. And then I went down onto our deck where sometimes we film on YouTube. I went down to our far deck and I stood with my arms on the armrest, on what's it called, on the handrail. Yeah. And I was all upset and just feeling a little bit emotional and sad about this moth and just like, why don't things live and why do things have to die? And, just all this, when stuff goes through your head like that. And I am not joking, and this has never happened to me ever. In all the 15 years I've been living here, this has never happened. It was as if someone said, right, birds of New Zealand, this is your time. Give her a show. And this duck, which we haven't got ducks in our garden. We've got a stream that runs at the bottom of our property. This duck, like what are they called?
A mallard.
A mallard,
Yep.
flew about, I don't know my measurements, but like that, how much is that? 6 foot, 6 inches?
So 6 foot, that. That's 6 inches, Liz.
It flew right in front of my face. It just went, its wings like this. And I watched it, and it flew in a semicircle, and it landed in our stream at the bottom of our property. And it went like this. And again, never heard it, never seen a duck on our property, never heard it.
Yeah.
The minute that duck landed, a tui, which is a New Zealand bird with its bright blue breast and its little white bow tie, its little, its little cotton wool thing under its beak. Oh, it came from the left and did the same thing. It flew in front of my face, and then it just did a circle, and it landed on the flax in front of me. And then across on the field, and I hope I don't sound like a nutter when I'm telling you this, but across from the field there were some cows, and the cow raises its head and it goes, moo. And then, Bri, on the left in the tree, swinging on the eucalyptus tree just in the neighbour's garden over there, was a wood pigeon, a New Zealand wood pigeon that called out its call. And then, and I'm not making this up, and then a speckled thrush flew right in front of where I was standing and landed on the sycamore tree that we've got just below our deck. And it just started singing this beautiful song. And I felt so fabulous. I just felt so surrounded by these birds, these animals, the cows and the birds. And it was just, I just felt as if I'd stepped into a film where someone was making a documentary on the wildlife in New Zealand. And I just thought, it's my mum. It's my mum. Every one of them is my mum, just coming down and going, hello, I'm here. It's fine. Everything's okay. And I just ran in to tell you, didn't I? I was just like, you're not going to believe what's happened. So, that's why we wanted to record this outside today, because we hoped that you'd be able to hear some sort of songbird, bird song rather, and it would make you know how I felt about that. It was just flipping divine. It was gorgeous. It was really gorgeous.
Yeah, that comes back to that nature and that anchor me type thing, doesn't it?
It does.
Where it's just like, wow. It's like, it's not all about me. It's happening just there, right in front of you,
And it was almost as if someone was saying, and obviously I think that someone was my mum, look at all the life around you. Look at everything that's around you. All these things are living. And, I was looking at the korus, and they're just opening right now. And all the leaves on the trees just in buds and blooming.
Yeah, beautiful colour that they are.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I got through that without bawling, because I was trying to tell Tess, my daughter, this morning. I just burst out crying. She's like, why are you crying when it was a really happy thing? So I'm so glad that I got to tell you that. But yeah, it's just New Zealand. It comes up trumps every time.
It's a tough one to beat, isn't it?
It is a tough one to beat, right?
Especially if you're out in nature.
Yeah. So that was that story. And that was our day yesterday. Just
a day in the life.
A day in the life.
That's what it's like, isn't it?
I don't know what we're going to call this podcast.
That's what this podcast is all about. It's just we just share little snippets of our life as we go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Bri. Thank you for the big cuddle and for being here on this podcast with me and letting me interrupt you. And
well, you're the lead. Don't forget that.
I know. Well, I don't know about that, but just thank you for being here. And
I was thinking after we was driving home yesterday from Pac'n'Save, and I was thinking I should just do a podcast called Brian Talks, and just have only Brians on it.
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you remember that guy that told you should do that?
Yeah.
And just say, I'm Brian.
Just interview Brians.
Yeah, that would be really good. Would you like to do that?
Sometimes yes, but again, because we've got these 3 platforms that or 3 channels that we do, it takes a lot of time to get this content together and put it out, and that's why this one is going around all 3.
Yes, it is.
It's just like we've had a lot on lately, and it's just like Yeah.
So if you're listening on It's a Drama, thank you so much. We love you. If you're listening on NZ Ahead, wow, Spotify, you're just killing it over there. You've given us so much support on Spotify for NZ Ahead. Loads of lovely reviews. Thank you so much. Thank you. And if you are watching on YouTube and watching on Spotify, because we have got a video platform over there, thank you so much. Yeah. And as always, just want to say thank you for your support, for reaching out, for your comments, for coming up to us in public and saying hello, and just for being there. You know, we just really, really appreciate you. And I want to give a special shout out to Germany, because Germany, when I'm looking at my book sales, I've got loads of sales of my book coming from Germany, and also subscribers to this podcast listening in Germany. So Germany, we love you. Yeah. Thank you so much. We've talked about this before, and we never would have thought that. You tend to think because it's not an English speaking country that why would you listen to us? But
a lot of a lot of people who work in German businesses speak English because it's more that international sort of thing, isn't it? Oh, it's all over the world. It just blows me away. The Cayman Islands, you can see in the podcast charts, you hit number 1 in the Cayman Islands. You're like, huh?
How many people are in the Cayman Islands?
6. And the Philippines and Japan.
Yeah.
So who's ever listening in all these countries? Thank you so much for listening to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Canada, USA and the UK and the whole of Europe is brilliant.
And of course, New Zealand, Australia, we love you. Right, until next time, I am going to say goodbye and thank you for listening. Don't forget, my heart beats with yours always, always. So until next time, I will speak to you soon.
Yes, so kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true, and might see you in Pac'n'Save, eh?
Love you, Pac'n'Save.
Yep.
Bye.
Foodstuffs. See you now. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast this week. We have loved having you here with us.
If you love this week's show, please share this with your friends. Send it to anybody you know that wants to think about moving to New Zealand, and get on over here yourself.
And tell them how brilliant it is as well. And also, if you haven't signed up for our free 5-day video guide showing you what life is really like in New Zealand, then go over to the website and sign up. You are missing out. This is brilliant. Go over to www.nzahead.com/free and we will send you 5 days worth of videos about what life is like in New Zealand. You are going to love it. So one more time, that website that you need to sign up for the free 5-day guide is www.nzahead.com/free. So we're going to see you next week. Until then, have a great week and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye, girl. Bye.
Bye.